welcome at another adventure, but I have a brand new video for you, and we are building for the brand new raccoons. I have started building this as soon as I knew that the raccoon was going to be the next animal. At first I didn't really know where to put it because we are in our cold climate zoo, or Doya Zoo as we named it a couple of episodes ago, and I first didn't really know where to put it, and then this exact curve in the road that you're seeing right now, that gave me the idea of an underwater viewing. Not really underwater, it's very shallow water, but you can kind of see them swimming around, because one of my most present memories of raccoons in zoos is that they always have a lot of water, and it's also always very interesting to see them play around in the water. The German word is actually, I think that's a pretty known thing, but the German word for raccoon is actually, if you translate it, washing bear, and they actually do wash their food. I don't know if the actual purpose is washing, but they do that, and it's very cute. They move their hands a lot, which is it's just like very sweet. So that was something that is really, really present in my mind when I think of raccoon enclosures. Also, rocks. I just think of a lot of rocks, a lot of climbing and water, and just like very interesting enclosures. So right away I was like, the raccoon is amazing to build for. I really want to build for the raccoon, which kind of shocked me that not that many people, I think a lot of people were excited about the raccoon, but some people weren't, which was like, but those are so interesting to build for. Maybe it was just lucky that I saw a lot of cool raccoon enclosures so far, but I immediately had an idea for it. I immediately knew what I wanted to do in terms of the style. And then the other idea that kind of came to me was this elevated path through it, which I'm not the happiest with now that I'm done, because I realized that they are actually way too small to do that with. So it's kind of hard to see them actually because the path is too raised up, so that is an issue with scale that I think a lot of people run into when they're building. So I was like, okay, I wanted to have this raised path. Not necessarily for the raccoons. My original idea was for another animal that I was originally going to build for next. If the new DLC wouldn't have been announced, or it would have been a DLC that wouldn't have been of use for Doya Zoo. And this idea of a raised path, I was kind of pre-planning, and then actually I'm not quite sure, but I did do this curving path, and I was like, that is perfect. That is a perfect way of having people go through this rocky little shallow water situation down there, and I don't know, that's how it came together. And the last episode we did, I forgot to talk about it. Oh my god. Okay, the last episode we did was the polar bear one, and someone commented that they really liked the waterfall, which I'm so happy about, because I really like building waterfalls, and I always think, am I the only person thinking that this looks good? Because I never see anyone really doing it that way, of really just mushing together a lot of the aquatic waterfall pieces, and sometimes adding some of the FX. Anyway, I was so happy that someone commented on this, and this really kind of gave me the confidence to give them some more of these water features in here, because I do think that that is also something that I kind of think of when I think of raccoons. Also, this little feeding area that we're building right now, obviously it's not functional, but I was thinking they like to wash their food. So in theory, obviously it doesn't work in this game, but in theory they would come up down there to eat, and then they would wash and sit on the edge of this little feeding thing, and people could watch it from down there. So I thought that would be really cool. Obviously it doesn't work in the game, but that was my thought behind it. So anyway, the last one was the bear enclosure, and I noticed that I actually got one of the runner-up places in the bear necessity competition. I entered it in a frontier building contest. They always do that. They currently do one with the bats. So the thing was like to make a very luxurious bear enclosure. And me, as I wanted to have polar bears in Doya Zoo, and then also was building this entire bear. I mean, I'm not done yet. I'm still working on building a bear trail thing in the base game zoo that I'm doing. I was like in the game for bears. So I entered in the contest and it was like 4th place, and like they posted it on the forum post, and I was like so happy when I saw it. Actually, I saw it today. I don't know if I missed an email or something. I didn't see it before. I don't know if they send me an email or not, but I saw it today and I was like so happy. I actually got into the forum for another thing, because did you see that the content creators that got the early access, they got these enamel pins, and I thought these enamel pins were so cute, so I got into the forum wanting to ask if there's a way to buy them, because I didn't see them in the Frontier merchandise shop. So I was like, okay, maybe, like, I've never, had any interest in buying the merchandise, so I never, looked it up. So I was like, maybe Planet Zoo has has its own merchandise shop or whatever, and I just didn't find it. And so I asked, and Heather, I think she's very active as a mod, and I mean, she's active as a mod on the forums, and I think she's also a mod on Simply Savannah's live stream. So she's very active, clearly, in the Planet Zoo community. And she commented that, unfortunately, that's not something that is up for buy, which is so sad. I really would have wanted it. I actually, you had me freak out about the game art when I was reacting to the pieces of the game. If you didn't, I did a video of my first reaction to a lot of the in-game, not a lot, all of them, to all of the new pieces that came with the Twilight pack. So I had a first reaction live on camera, quote unquote, because you don't see me, but I had a first reaction as you could hear me, and I really liked the game art, or the art style of some of the statues, the ones that look like little voodoo dolls, like paper dolls. I think they look so cute and so like goofy, and I just think they are perfect for enamel pins. I would have loved them, but unfortunately you can't buy them, but I would have. But yeah, that's why I got into the forum. That's what I wanted to do, and then I saw that, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. I was so happy. And they showed a pretty cool picture, and yeah, I was glad that they liked it, and so yeah, I was really happy to see that. So yeah, that I was really excited about, and I was actually planning on telling you that right at the beginning of the episode, because I'm thinking maybe if some of you are actually following this by series and you have seen the last video, the bare necessity videos, you would technically see this video next, and have a follow-up on that. So yeah, the winner was really cool. It was a sun bear enclosure, a very tropical lush one. It was really pretty. And then the I guess you'd say first runner-up, so the second place, I guess, that was so cute. It was it looked like the landscape was a bear that was hugging the enclosure. It was very sweet. So yeah, really cool. But yeah, back to the raccoons. We have built quite a lot. I'm not sure that I will actually talk all the way through this time, because tomorrow, and it's actually very late at night already, tomorrow morning, or lunchtime, I'm taking my mom out for lunch. Duh. It was her birthday a couple of weeks ago, and we didn't really get a day where we could both hang out and do something together. So I really wanted to take her out onto a fancy sushi place, because she loves sushi, but sushi is so expensive. You don't really go there without a good reason, I guess. At least I don't. But so yeah, I figured I'll take her out and have a nice day with her. And I hope she's going to be excited because she doesn't know what we're doing tomorrow. I just told her to come hungry and dressed up. So yeah, I hope she's going to like it, but I'm sure she will. We haven't had sushi in forever. At least I didn't. I don't know if she had, but I'm sure she doesn't get sushi that often. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited too. I love sushi, but yeah, I don't know. That's why I kind of have to go to bed. And also, like, you know, when you save a video that you've added it has to process, and processing can take some time. And sometimes my computer is very good with it and it's very fast, and sometimes it takes forever, and then it also has to upload. So I kind of know that today I will go to sleep with my laptop light up while it's still uploading. And I don't know why I always do it. My laptop has like a backlighting for the keyboard, and it is like bright neon green backlighting. I didn't pick it. I mean, I did, but no, there was no color options. I would not have picked neon green, but it is neon green, and it's actually quite nice, like, to type in the dark with it. It's a very good backlighting, but I always forget to turn it off when I go to bed while my laptop is still uploading, because I do that a lot, actually. Not even when I have like a time issue. It's just like I'm done, and then it's like, oh great, I go to bed now, and then I let my laptop do its thing. But obviously I keep it running. I turn off that it turns itself off. So oftentimes I'll go to bed and have like this like ominous witchy green lighting illuminate my bedroom. So yeah, that happens quite a lot, and I always forget to just turn the backlights off, like the keyboard lighting off. It's just like, it's one button literally, but I always forget it. And yeah, I always have it on. I don't know why. It's like really unnecessary because I barely ever work on my laptop in the dark, but yeah, I don't know. I just like having it that way. And whenever I'm on my dad's PC, I feel like it's like the keyboard lights are missing, because he has like a regular PC with a regular like very standard office keyboard that doesn't light up. It's just a keyboard, and it kind of bothers me. But he says it's unnecessary to have it light up, so it's his keyboard, his choice. But yeah, whatever. I'm sure that I've talked more about keyboards, sushi, and another video than the actual raccoon enclosure. I'm sorry about that, but I hope it's still somewhat interesting. And I always struggle actually keeping on topic. Let's be real. I don't think I've ever actually stayed on the topic, but I don't know. I mean, you can tell me if my little rants bother you, but I really don't see myself talking about the same thing for a really long time, because my brain goes crazy from one thing to another always. So, I mean, I hope that you don't mind, but it's very hard for me to stay on one topic sometimes. But yeah, let's actually talk about it. These climbing structures, I think they look really funny in the sense that they look thrown together. They look cheap in a way, which was not what I planned, and it doesn't really fit Doya Zoo. It is usually very modern, very high budget. But at the same time, I feel like it kind of fits the raccoon to have these like more crazy climbing structures. And yeah, I really put a lot of effort in the climbing structures this time, because I try to get better at them. I try to really work on them, because I'm not usually very happy with how my climbing structures turn out. And so I really try to work on this. And this little thing that we're building right now, you will see in a second what it is, actually I think turned out really good. I'm really happy with how I managed to do that. Not to like toot my own horn, is that what it the proverb? But like not to be saying too nice things about my own thing. But I think this turned out really well. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think I kind of have to get out of this place of like thinking about how the game wants me to build climbing structures and think more of like, how does it look? One thing that I found helps me with that is to look at playgrounds, like actual human children playgrounds. Really helps me to visualize how climbing works, if that makes sense. How these things are structured and the physics of it. So you don't really have like a pole that holds up something huge, even though it is obviously possible in the game, but it's not looking realistic. And I have a really hard time with the climbing structures. Like usually I have a pretty good idea of the physics of things, not the actual physics, but that it looks right, you know? But with climbing structures, like, I don't know, it's off of my brain. So one thing I found helps is looking at actual children's playgrounds. There's a lot of cool playground inspiration on Pinterest, funnily enough. I don't know, you know, that seems to be a niche community, but, you know, it's there. But yeah, I've been pinning a lot of playgrounds lately. And yeah, also a lot of like, how do you call it? Like planning, like a construction image thing. So it's not built yet, it's just like a 3D rendering of it. These are very interesting. And a lot of time very cute, very thematic. So I feel like I really want to build like 10 playgrounds now. But yeah, obviously the thing I want to be better at is the climbing structures. But, you know, playgrounds are a nice plus, I guess. And yeah, I mean, technically, like this little bridge and the climbing thing and the little house, I don't know, I think it turned out really well for my usual quality level of climbing structures. Like I said, it's not perfect and I'm still like working on it, but so far I think this turned out good and I'm really happy with it. And I'm excited that, you know, you have this little like glimpse into this sleeping place from the trail on. I also like that the trail, like the pathing, the elevated path, it looks kind of like coastal, which I didn't intend, but this light wooden path and also the fence around it, it always gives me like Boardwalk on like North Sea. You know, I live in Germany, so obviously not obviously, but luckily I've been to the North Sea quite a few times, like in the Netherlands and all that. So I always think of the Netherlands when I see this elevated path. So the beaches in the Netherlands, and I think that, you know, technically everywhere in coastal regions, you know, I think it's from the salt, actually, from the salt in the air, like the because of, you know, oceans, that these things dry out so heavily, or maybe it's the sun, you know, because there's nothing blocking the sun on the beach, because no trees. But anyway, in some, I'm sure, amazing ways of chemistry, things, you know, lose their color pretty easily by the beach, and that's why. So probably these like walks always look like that, and I've just been to Dutch beaches the most, because, you know, they're not that far away. And I mean, I live close to the Netherlands. Let's be very honest here. Not every German, you know, has the luxury of actually, you know, being able to go to the beach for a day. But I can. I mean, technically I can because I don't have a car. I'm not a car person. But if I have a friend that's like, do you want to go to the Netherlands? We're there pretty easily. So that's my, I don't know what you will do out of that information, why you needed it, why anyone would be interested in how close or far I am from the Netherlands, but now you know. And probably for Americans, this is like, it's like crazy to think, because Europe is so small, that you can just like go to another country to go to the beach for a couple of hours. But, you know, We're tiny. But this is actually something I wanted to talk about with like actual content. This little house was so hard for me to build. I tried so many things and I'm not super happy with how it turned out. I gotta say, to me it looks like it just doesn't belong there entirely. I'm okay with the end result, but it's not what I wanted. But funnily enough, the thing I used as inspiration for this was chicken coops. So I just looked up chicken coops or modern chicken coops on Pinterest, and quite a lot of people are very interested in pretty chicken coops. Who would have thought? But I used that, and that was kind of helpful. I got the idea of this like cutout corner from that, which you will see in a second, or it's actually there already. I've gotten that from the chicken coop posts that I've seen, and yeah, I kind of played around with this like tilted illusion sort of thing. I don't know, it wasn't like it's not the best, but it's not the worst. It's there. It works. It does the job. I wanted to have a small little interior thing that wasn't necessarily to the height of the keeper. So yeah, kind of unrealistic because they couldn't clean in there, but at the same time I wanted it to be like a chicken coop. So yeah, maybe on the back, it would need a door or maybe a bigger door. I don't know. So not the most realistic. I'm not the most happy with it. However, I was very happy that the roof turned out that easily. Like I didn't have to build a custom roof because for some reason I managed to have this at the exact angle of the pre-done, the pre-made roof pieces. How are they called? The ones that snap to each other. The gridded pieces. Yeah. So it was at the perfect angle for the smallest tilted gridded roof pieces. But it wouldn't have been too bad to build a custom roof because we have beautiful new small non-grid roof pieces now, which I'm so excited for. I used them for the little house in case you didn't, notice that. And I also used a lot of the new wood pieces because they do save a lot of piece count. They are really cool. They are like a collection of wooden planks that stick together and you can recolor them. What more would you want? I was excited about that in my overview video as well, or my reaction video. But anyway, we don't have that much time. I see you in the real time. Okay. Wow, can you believe that I actually made it talking through all of that? Anyway, we're in the real-time part. This abruptly ends, but let me just show you where I am. This is the tunnel through the mountain that we built. So up here would be the polar bear enclosure. I mean, I will give you an overview later, but this is just so pretty. I wanted to start here. This is still missing like a custom curb. By the way, curbs take any situation a step further. Like a curb always makes things prettier. This, I'm not sure if I'll keep it like this. I'm going to, I think, use it as a means of having an education board on it, but I'm not sure I want that because usually this design I have reserved for way signs, but it just looked pretty there, so I'll keep it for now. So this is our first view into the raccoon enclosure. I think it's really nice and lush and, like I said, coastal. I did make the water a bit more blue, which I think looks really amazing because from this low angle it like really pops blue with the sky and the floor. I think it's really pretty. You don't see a raccoon from here right now, and you will see that that is an issue that we will see. There's one that we will see later on as well. It's very hard to spot the raccoons in here, but I wanted to have at least one where you're on like not eye level, but that they could really actually come up to you. But yeah, this is the entrance, but I mean actually it doesn't really make sense, but I built it from this viewing angle in mind. By the way, there's another thing coming up here. Um, but yeah, so let's go up here and enter this like little walkthrough thing. I'm not the happiest with this. Maybe I'll get rid of it and just like keep this as like a, just like a, you know, non-usable thing, because they could in theory climb up here in real life, but they don't in the game. So I did put this here, so I don't really like that much, but whatever. So yeah, no raccoons inside. So yeah, this is the little house that we were building that I said I was kind of happy with how it turned out. A little bit of a bridge here and over there. We will go down here later on. Oh my god, that scared me. So there's also this thing. Let's go back a bit. This little climbing thing. Unfortunately, they can't walk through here, but I still think it looks nice. So this gives them a lot of climbing. This would obviously be so dangerous in real life, but you know, for the sake of them being able to walk through these two branches, which I think looks really cool, I have to have them at this angle, but I don't mind. Yeah. Also, just a side note, remember when I talked about wanting to be less scared of actually showing fences? This is a fence. So, yeah, this little island in the middle, I just think it looks really cool from this angle. And then they have a little bit of a waterfall that they can actually pass over, which is very great. Like, they can walk across this. They have a good traversable area, I've got to say. Like, they're really good at traversing. Maybe that's because they have like escape artists. But yeah. So this they can't use because the game registers this as like closed to this site. So this is more artificial, but I still think it looks nice. Kind of like a cat tree. Yeah, this tree was a last minute addition, and I think it really like pulled it together here. And then from here you see the little coop. I actually added a little raccoon picture. I'm not sure if I'll keep it there. And then one thing I didn't show in the video is this like little walkway. We can look at it from the outside as well, but this is just for the keepers. And yeah, we're already done. I think it looks... I tried to have it in a way where it looks pretty decent from all the angles. We're not really, can't always cover everything, but here's a little bit view inside. I don't know, I wanted these round things more often, and I tried to put them in different places, but it just didn't work out anywhere else. But this is nice. A little bit of a view here inside. And then this is the keeper thing I talked about. Very simple. Just some stuff here. And, I mean, we can walk around here. I actually haven't yet looked at it from the ground view in the enclosure, because I don't know why. I mean, they're swimming around here a lot, which is upsetting. And it's also the reason that I put some of the elephant grass in the water, because I tried to not really have them swim around underneath the path, but that's actually what they do the most. So, this is such a cool angle to look at this. Oh, love it. Hello. I wish they were a bit more fluffy, to be honest, but, I mean, beggars can be choosers, and I really begged for the raccoon. He was actually, like, one of my top priority animals. But yeah, let's go outside. Actually, no. Let's go down to the other viewing, because this is the path that comes from the mountain thing. So actually the idea is, well, let's get out. So the idea is, because this path here comes from the mountain, I want the zoo to extend down here somewhere a bit, because this is actually the map border, so we can't go too crazy here, but extend out here, meet up with the path back here, which is where the lower viewing for the polar bears is. And so you would end up, when you've seen the polar bears, when you've seen the polar bears, you would walk up this hill right here, which is where you would have the swimming, the water area for the raccoons again. I mean, it's not ideal that you would see the same animal twice, technically, but I still like it. I like that when you come up this hill, you are kind of greeted with this, like, water section. It's almost like you would walk towards a waterfall, that if this glass wasn't there, you know, you would like whoosh, swooshed over with water. So that I kind of liked, and I don't know, I think this is nice. It's not too crazy. Like, you don't really need to see them diving, but some like paddling around and like, I mean, let's go through this glass actually. Just like, you know, have this like low angle of this waterfall and like the stuff in the back, and then there's one there. To, you know, have this view, watch them eat, you know, like in theory. And then, yeah, someone is having a swim over there. They are tiny. But yeah, see what I mean with the traversable area? That's really, really good. Like, they're really good. Look at the rubber duck versus the raccoon. Like, they are ridiculously small. But yeah, I mean, they are really not glitchy when it comes to, like, climbing up stuff. Please don't be glitchy now that I said that. Is it playing in the water? Hello? Okay. I think it's going outside the water. Oop, okay. Well, great. I'm not actually bothered by, kind of, like, wonky sort of animations. I think they look funny and adorable, and I don't mind. But I know some people are, but I don't. I did put a holding things. I'm not quite sure how they're called, but these things so that, you know, if you're not the best on foot, you have something to hold on to. I think it's called a railing, maybe. And then this kind of divides you, gets you away from the fence so that you don't stick your fingers through it and get bitten by a raccoon. And then this up here, going out of the view here, again, this is the path that actually leads up to the polar bears. And I know realistically you'd probably have something to pass over here, because, you know, it'd be very frustrating to have to go all the way through. But I think in terms of Planet Zoo, it's easier to not have too many places to get lost, especially in terms of like tours. And also, like, obviously this is kind of a height difference here that would kind of make it hard. Like, you'd have to do stairs, which I'm trying to avoid, even though I do think that, you know, a lot of this is too steep to actually be wheelchair accessible. But yeah, I try to avoid stairs, actually. So, to have this go up here. And then, yeah, this is the polar bear enclosure, so let's zoom out again. These would be the raccoons, these would be the polar bears here, this is the mountain, and this is the rest of the zoo so far. And I realized that my enclosures are getting bigger and bigger, and with the polar bear was planned, with the raccoon, not so much, but I still like it. And yeah, I can't wait to continue to work on Doya Zoo. I think it's actually a really, like, fun zoo, and I think I can't wait to go further with this project, and I hope that the piece count, or like my PC, is going to allow me to actually finish all the things that I have planned for this. I have a lot of plans, so let me know if you like what you're seeing so far, and if you're excited for the upcoming plans, actually. And yeah, as always, I hope you have a nice day. I hope to see you around another time. Bye!